If you own a home in Bucks or Montgomery County right now and you've been thinking about selling, but you keep telling yourself to wait for the rates to drop, to wait for the market to calm down, to wait for things to feel more certain, I need you to watch this entire video because the math on waiting might be costing you more than you realize. And I'm going to show you exactly why. My name is Josh Wernick. I'm a realtor right here in Bucks and Montgomery County, and I work specifically with homeowners in this market every single day. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what the actual data says because you deserve that before you make a decision worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's talk about what is actually happening right now, what it means for your home's value, and whether selling now or waiting actually makes more financial sense for you specifically. Let's start by acknowledging the obvious. Right now feels like a terrible time to make a major financial decision. Mortgage rates are back above 7%, gas is over $4, there's genuine economic uncertainty. The situation in the Middle East, the tariff concerns, a job market that's softening, and here in Bucks and Montgomery County specifically, home prices have skyrocketed over the last few years, which makes buyers hesitant and sellers nervous about where they'd go next. I get it. Every single one of those concerns is legitimate. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that everything is fine and now is a great time to buy and sell. That would be insulting to your intelligence. But here's the question you actually need to answer, and almost nobody is asking it correctly. Compared to what? Because waiting is not a neutral decision. Waiting is a choice, and that choice has a cost. Here's what I mean. Every month you wait to sell, you are betting that one of these three things will happen. The rates will come down significantly, more buyers will enter the market, or your home's value goes up enough to justify this wait. Let's look at each one honestly. Rates. The Federal Reserve has been clear. Rates are staying elevated for longer than the market hoped. The consensus among mortgage experts right now is that we're staying in the 6 to 7% range through at least the end of this year. A dramatic drop back to 4 or 5%, that's not going to happen in the near term. Every month you wait for that, you're waiting for something that most experts don't see coming. Buyer demand. Here's the uncomfortable truth about Bucks and Montgomery County specifically. Buyer demand hasn't gone away. It's been suppressed by the rates. The moment the rates drop even half a point, pent-up demand floods back in, and that sounds like good news for sellers, but here's what most people miss. When that demand floods back in, so does the seller competition. Every neighbor who's been sitting on the sidelines waiting to sell lists at the same time. You go from a market with low inventory and serious buyers to a market flooded with homes. Your leverage disappears. Your home's value. Prices in this market have been remarkably resilient, but here's the thing about that. Those high prices are partly a function of low inventory. When inventory increases, which it will when the rates drop and people stop being frozen, the price appreciation slows. The peak value of your home relative to inventory may actually be closer to right now than 18 months from now. So the scenario most people are waiting for, the lower rates, the better conditions, more certainty, might actually be the scenario where their home sells for less, sits longer, and competes with more properties. Let me make this concrete with real numbers from this market. Okay? The median home in Bucks County right now is somewhere between $500,000 and $700,000, depending on your town. We've covered this extensively on this channel. Let's use 600,000 as a round number. If you wait 12 months hoping for better conditions and your home's value stays flat, which is the optimistic scenario, you've carried 12 months of property taxes, maintenance, and the opportunity cost of your equity sitting locked up. In this county, property taxes alone on a $600,000 home might run $8,000 to $12,000 a year, and that's real money. Now add this. If the market softens even 5% when the inventory returns, and 5% is conservative, that's $30,000 off your sale price. You've potentially given back $40,000 waiting for conditions that may never arrive. That's not a scare tactic, that's just math. Now let me steel man the other side because I want to be honest with you. There are legitimate reasons to wait. If you have nowhere to go, if your finances require you to have your equity in hand before you move, if you're in a life situation that simply isn't ready, those are real reasons, and no market condition overrides them. And if you're in one of the premium markets, the Newtowns, the Washington Crossings, Wayne, Bryn Mawr, where prices are already well above the regional average, you do have more cushion. A slight softening hurts less when you're selling something worth 800,000 or more. So I'm not saying everyone should sell tomorrow. I'm saying the assumption that waiting is automatically safer, smarter, is wrong. And most people have never had anyone actually show them the math. Here's what makes this market specifically different from the national conversation you're hearing everywhere else. Bucks and Montgomery County have some of the strongest long term fundamentals of any suburban market in the country. Proximity to Philadelphia, top ranked school districts, established communities, limited land for new development. This market doesn't crash, it corrects. And corrections here are typically modest and short. But here's what that means right now. The buyers who are actively looking in this market, and there are serious pre-approved buyers looking right now, rates and all, they are not tourists. They're not people casually browsing. They are people who need to be here. Job relocations, life changes, growing families who specifically want these school districts. Those are buyers that exist in this market today. The question isn't whether there are buyers. The question is whether your home is in front of them. I want to say something that goes beyond the data for a second. I've talked to a lot of homeowners in this market who have been waiting for rates, waiting for certainty, waiting for the right moment. And what I've noticed is that for many of them, the waiting isn't really about the market at all. It's about the fear of making a major decision in an uncertain world. And that's completely human and it's understandable. But uncertainty doesn't go away when you wait. The Iran situation, the economy, rates. Next year, there will be different versions of those same concerns. There is never a moment of perfect clarity to sell your home. There is only the market that exists today versus the market that might exist tomorrow. And right now, today, your home has significant equity. Serious buyers exist in this market, and you have more leverage as a seller than you will when inventory floods back in. That's the reality I'd want someone to tell me honestly if I was selling my home. So if you're a homeowner in Bucks or Montgomery County and you've been sitting on this decision, here's what I'd offer you. Let me pull the actual data for your specific street, not the county, not the zip code, your street, and show you exactly what your home would realistically sell for now, how it compares to what it might sell for in 12 months under different scenarios, and what buyers in your price range are actually doing. No forms, no obligation. Text me your address at 267-934-5674, and I will send you a real analysis, not a Zillow estimate, real sold data for your neighborhood. The link is in the description. I'm Josh Wernick. I'm right here in Bucks and Montgomery County, and I'll talk to you in the next one.